The idea of activating the pineal gland and opening the third eye is not exclusive to a single spiritual or cultural tradition. Throughout history, various cultures around the world have developed practices aimed at reaching elevated states of consciousness. These practices, which involve meditation, visualization, and intense concentration, were used to expand perception, access hidden knowledge, and even heal the body and mind. The wisdom behind this power comes from ancient traditions such as yogis, shamans, the Egyptians, and Hermeticists, all of whom mention the third eye. It is no wonder this concept resurfaces in so many different cultures. With modern technology, we have lost touch with this inner wisdom, distancing us from the profound knowledge we once possessed, as evidenced by the construction of the pyramids in Egypt, which remains a mystery. The third eye, or pineal gland, is considered the gateway to a new perception of reality. Although the concept is ancient, its true nature and the powers it awakens are still unknown to many people. In this text, we will explore how different spiritual traditions, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, ancient Egypt, and others, use practices to activate it and expand consciousness. But most importantly, you can now learn to reactivate your third eye and transform your reality practically. Many spiritualists and masters from various spiritual traditions claim to have awakened the third eye or reached elevated levels of consciousness, which allowed them to access extraordinary perceptions. Among these masters are figures like Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, Ramana Maharshi, Paramahansa Yogananda, Edgar Cayce, and Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita. Now let's talk a little about the third eye and the most diverse spiritualities. 1. Hindu tradition, yoga, and Vedanta. In Hinduism, activating the third eye is directly associated with spiritual ascension and awakening consciousness. The pineal gland, seen as the center of our intuition and inner perception, is considered the point of connection with the higher truth. Within the practice of yoga, yogis use meditation techniques that involve focusing on the ajna chakra, the energy center, located between the eyebrows, directly related to the third eye. One of the most common practices to activate the third eye is dhyana, a form of deep meditation. Practitioners focus their attention on the third eye area and visualize light, colors, or spiritual images, seeking to silence the mind and achieve a greater connection with the universe. In Vedanta philosophy, the activation of the third eye is also associated with the process of self-realization, where the practitioner transcends the limited perception of material reality and experiences the state of union with the divine. 2. Buddhism. Buddhism, particularly the Tibetan tradition, has advanced meditation practices aimed at opening energy channels in the body and developing mental clarity. The third eye in Buddhism is related to the ability to transcend the illusion of reality and perceive the world as it truly is, without the filters of the egoic mind. Tibetan lamas, for example, practice Vajrayana meditation, a technique involving detailed visualizations and the use of specific mantras to stimulate the ajna chakra. A notable example of how the third eye is described in Buddhism is the concept of clear vision, where a practitioner, through deep concentration, can access truths beyond common perception and even see beyond the limitations of time and space. 3. Egyptian tradition. In ancient Egypt, priests and shamans used meditation and initiation rituals to activate the body's energy centers, especially the third eye. The goddess Horus, associated with vision and perception, is often depicted with an open eye, symbolizing wisdom and the ability to perceive beyond the material world. Egyptian rituals involved using symbols and hieroglyphs to help activate the third eye, as well as visualization techniques during sleep or altered states of consciousness. Records indicate that Egyptian priests, in their initiation rituals, undertook astral journeys and inner voyages to access deep wisdom and connect with the gods. 4. Hermetic tradition. Hermetists, a philosophical and spiritual tradition dating back to ancient Egypt and developed through the Middle Ages, also believed in the power of the third eye. Hermetic doctrine is based on the principle of correspondence, which states, "as above, so below." meaning that what happens in the spiritual plane reflects in the physical plane. In this tradition, the third eye is considered the center of esoteric perceptions and communication with spiritual entities. Hermetic meditation and visualization techniques are used to access higher states of consciousness, allowing the practitioner to gain wisdom, understand the mysteries of the universe, and connect with the higher self. The use of symbols and diagrams, such as the Hermetic pentacle, helped open these channels of spiritual communication. 5. Shamanism. In shamans of various indigenous cultures, especially in the Americas and Asia, activating the third eye is often associated with perceiving the spiritual world. Shamans use sacred plants, such as ayahuasca and peyote, to induce altered states of consciousness in which they believe they access spiritual dimensions and heal the body and soul. In addition, dance rituals and drum beats are common to enter trance states. During these practices, shamans believe they can see energies, spirits, and even access hidden knowledge of the universe. This is known as shamanic journeying, where expanding perception is essential for connecting with the unseen worlds. Now, let's explore the depth of the third eye, a concept extensively discussed by ancient sages and mystics, yet still unknown to most people. In this video, we will understand what the third eye is, why it remains dormant in many individuals, and, more importantly, how we can reactivate it to positively impact our reality. This method not only brings changes, but can generate an immediate effect in your life. Over the centuries, catastrophic events, such as the destruction of the famous Library of Alexandria, erased much of this knowledge. These insights still exist, but they are often hidden so that only a few can benefit from them. The truth is that while you remain trapped in a cycle of ignorance, others exploit your limited potential for their own gain. To begin understanding the third eye, we need to look at the work of Master Patanjali. He was one of the first to systematize knowledge about how the human mind works, and his work remains a fundamental guide. Patanjali, an Indian sage who lived thousands of years ago, already knew that his teachings would have a lasting impact. His teachings, known as the Yoga Sutras, are a true key to unlocking human potential. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali explains how our human machine functions. He describes the chakras, energy points that, when properly aligned, allow people to achieve elevated states of consciousness. In total, he mentions 114 chakras, with 7 main ones guiding the spiritual ascension of human beings, from basic instincts to supreme enlightenment. The root chakra, for instance, is related to our most basic survival needs, such as sleep and food. It is the lowest level of consciousness, where many people remain, living only to satisfy immediate needs. The next level is the sacral chakra, which is associated with pleasures and desires such as sexuality. When energy rises to the solar plexus chakra, Manipura, people start to focus more on concrete actions and the drive to achieve goals. The elevation of energy to the heart chakra, Anahata, brings a greater capacity for creativity and appreciation of art. When reaching the throat chakra, Vishuddha, our focus turns to communication and influence. The third eye, or Ajna chakra, is where the potential for deep perception, intellectual understanding, and inner clarity resides. The third eye is not merely a mystical concept, but a powerful center of perception. It allows you to see the world more deeply, going beyond the surface of physical senses. When properly activated, the third eye provides a clearer vision of reality, which can be used to transform your life. Many traditions, including Buddhism and Hermetic teachings, affirm that mind control and creative visualization are essential practices for accessing this power. Now, let's proceed with a third eye visualization practice that you can use to alter your reality. The technique is simple but requires dedication. First, find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted for about 10 minutes. Then, focus on a problem or situation you are facing, something that is blocking or complicating your life. The key here is to clearly identify the problem. Take deep breaths and begin visualizing the number 3 repeatedly in your mind, intending to relax and enter an alpha brainwave state. This will help create a mental opening for the process. Next, visualize the solution to your problem. Immerse yourself fully in how life would be without this obstacle. Make the scene vivid, touching, hearing, and feeling the details as if it were already happening. When you feel completely immersed in the visualized solution, send this energy to your higher self, as if you are handing over the issue to a greater force. This can be done mentally, like a symbolic gesture. This technique not only frees your conscious mind from the problem, but also helps open pathways for solutions to emerge naturally. This method can be used by anyone to unlock their inner energy and access new possibilities. Though it seems simple, constant practice results in significant transformations, from small solutions to profound changes in perspective. The more you practice, the faster your third eye activates, allowing greater mental flexibility and perception of the world around you. The first signs that your visualization is working may appear within 3 days, but stay alert to all changes, even the smallest ones. Recognize these changes as signs that your subconscious mind is shaping your reality. Continue practicing, and if necessary, repeat the exercise whenever needed. By practicing this technique regularly, you will start to realize how your third eye can help shape your life. Unlocking inner vision is a powerful tool for creating a new perception of your reality. If you truly want to change your life, you must begin focusing inward on what lies beyond the common senses.